So with the confirmation from Capcom saying they're going to rebalance Street Fighter V again really soon, I thought this would be a good time to discuss which characters I feel desperately need buffs for Season 2. So let's begin. Alright, so let's start with my boy, Alex. So most of his normals were nerfed without compensation, like we talked about before in my patch notes video. Especially his crouching medium punch and his crouching medium kick, his medium normals. So after the insane nerf to his slash elbow, Alex players now have to rely on their footsies, but the problem is Capcom nerfed his neutral tools as well. So it doesn't make sense nerfing both. I understand Capcom didn't want Alex players to use his elbow to get in all the time, which makes sense. We don't want it to be forward moving specials the game, even though it is right now. But also nerfing his crouching medium punch and his other long range pokes it makes it just so Alex has so much problems in the neutral game. So they should at least revert back his crouching medium punch and his medium normals. EX Air Knee Smash, this is Alex's anti-air, where he grabs you up in the air and knocks you down. Was nerfed both as an anti-air and as an Oki tool. After you grab someone with his knee smash, he knocks him to the ground and he's super far away now, so you can barely follow up with anything like before. This was another nerf, I feel, without compensation because they already nerfed Alex's standing light punch. So before his standing light punch, his EX knee smash was Alex's most reliable and fastest anti-air option, and it costed meter. So I don't understand why Capcom needs to nerf this as well if they already nerfed his standing light punch. So either restore it as an anti-air or maintain its Oki, or hopefully both would be nice because it costs meter. You know, if you're going to use this move, it's the opponent's fault for jumping in the first place, right? So I don't see a problem with it. Maybe if you combo into it, they don't like the idea of you having crazy Oki after, but then just take away the Oki. But at least make me be able to do this as an anti-air and the opponent not hitting me out of it because that's just silly. So in summary, Alex got some buffs that I wanted, like his V skill for example, and his crouching hard punch did get buffed as well. However, it came at such a high price I feel that Alex is regarded by many the worst character in the game right now. Bring his neutral back to normal I think, and Alex will be fine just like he was in Season 1. Alright, so the next character we're going to talk about is Fang. So I really feel like Fang's poison is a huge missed opportunity for something really unique in Street Fighter V. Especially after seeing Colleen now with her freeze debuff and such, and I've talked about this before in my previous podcast. Now, I know there were changes to Fang's normals, and everyone expected Fang to get huge buffs for Season 2, but obviously that wasn't the case. But I just really want to talk about his poison right now. I'm sorry for kind of changing the subject a little bit. So first off, his poison damage is way too low, which makes it not threatening. We literally have Fang players using their V skill, and the opponent is just walking through it like they don't care. Like they're T1000 or something. It's just not threatening enough. It's not worth jumping and dodging and putting yourself in harm's way, and you can just walk through the thing and just end up hitting Fang eventually anyways. When you're poisoned by Fang, there's just no sense of urgency whatsoever. It's just not scary. And I think that's definitely, you know, a flaw, a problem with the design and the character. On top of this, it's way too easy for Fang to poison the opponent in the first place, which forces Capcom to not make the poison powerful. So this is one of the main things that need to be changed, I think, on both sides, is the poison needs to do more damage in a shorter amount of time. So the only real way to balance this out, the risk and reward, is to make Fang's poison harder to land and more limited in the first place. So I'm just going to use a crazy example. This is an extreme example, but let's just say the only thing that can poison the opponent was Fang's V skill. But it did an immense amount of damage in a short amount of time. Crazy, I know. Let's say his specials didn't poison the opponent, just his V skill. Imagine how threatening that slow little fireball would be to the opponent. Imagine how he would react to it, right? He wouldn't just be walking through it, he'd be scared of it. He would definitely do everything at his disposal to avoid it. He'd be jumping, he would definitely play into Fang's game. At the same time, Fang players would be encouraged more on how do I land this V skill on the opponent? How can I set this up? And what to do when they predict the opponent jumping over it and avoiding it and making it a costly mistake in the first place. Something small like that would be a huge change to Fang's meta, I feel, and it'd make him a lot more interesting. If we always see the opponent's life bar poisoned and always purple, which is really common in a Fang match, it just doesn't seem that exciting, both from a viewer's side and from the player's side. We want it to be like, oh no, he's poisoned, he better get rid of that real fast. We need that sense of threat, that sense of urgency, I feel. And if he's always poisoned, it's just not exciting at all. Another option is to make the poison stack, but of course Capcom needs a visual cue for this to change the color of the life bar even more so you know how many stacks of poison the opponent has. But once again, it's still a little too easy to poison the opponent right now with Fang, so it'd be pretty powerful. Another thing too is if you get poisoned twice, that it consumes all of the poison damage from the first poison, like it consumes the damage over time. And this would make his V-trigger really powerful, however. So yeah, that's, to summarize this, I just want them to make Fang's poison more damaging and more threatening. Alright, so time for the next character, Nash. So Capcom really went after Nash's mobility and his zoning tools hard. They took away anything that can be abused from Nash, which was his back dash, his forward dash, his medium kick Sonic Scythe, his V reversal, and his V trigger. It was just insane. All of his mobility options were hurt. They gave him some buffs though, I feel, that a lot of people weren't mentioning, especially his back medium kick got insanely buffed, and it really gave him a ton of new pressure options and frame trap options, especially when Nash has you in the corner. You're in serious trouble in Season 2 if you guys watch Bonchan's matches. But Capcom definitely wants Nash to be played more aggressively. They don't want him to be able to, change gears whenever he wants and become a zoner and then be super aggressive at the same time. They want him one type of character. They don't want him to be a zoner like Guile. They want to make these two characters distinct. So for one, I feel like they nerfed Nash's forward dash too hard. Since they want Nash to be a more aggressive character, they should keep his forward dash a little intact. Because first off, Nash's forward dash was only crazy because the animation didn't start until later. So it was much faster than our eyes noticed it, even though it was a 17 frame dash before. So since this was fixed, there's no reason to just nerf it by 2 frames, which they did. In Season 1, Nash's dash was 17 frames, now it's 19 frames, super slow. So I think they should at least bring it back. Well, let's just meet in the middle, and let's bring Nash's dash back to 18 frames. How about that? 18 or 17 I think would be fine. And then fully revert his V-trigger. His V-trigger got nerfed way too hard. It's too slow. It's got that black screen freeze now. And basically, Nash already got his backdash and his V reversals nerfed. Okay? He's a character that doesn't have reversal options. He's a character that doesn't have a 3-frame normal. So I don't see the overkill to nerfing his V-trigger. Something that has such a limited use. You can only, it's such a costly tool. You can only use this once or twice a match. So I don't think it's a big deal. Just revert Nash's V-trigger and his forward dash. And since Capcom wants to make him a more aggressive character now, I think those 2 tools will help the character honestly bring him back to par. I really do. Alright, so the next character we're going to talk about is Ryu. No, I didn't forget about Ryu, guys, don't worry. So Ryu, he's a character with a jack of all trades. He's the poster boy of Street Fighter V and poor Daigo. So Ryu got hit everywhere in all aspects of the character, and even got nerfed indirectly as well with the universal nerfs and buffs from the other characters. So his zoning got hit, his neutral got hit, and his Oki got hit because his throw loops are gone. The universal throw nerfs, they all got hurt. So first off, I think they should start buffing Ryu's zoning, because poor Daigo needs it. So first off, there's so many anti-projectiles moves in Street Fighter V. There's way too many anti-projectile moves, okay? And even more in Season 2 now. We got Laura's EX command grab goes through fireballs now, and Bison's V-skill got buffed. Almost all the fireball invincible moves that started on frame 3 now start on frame 1 and can be easily reacted to going through fireballs. If the opponent has an EX meter, he probably has some way of going through poor Ryu's fireball. So this is a problem, okay? So I think to compensate this, they should adjust Ryu's fireball. Either its speed, or its damage, or both. I also think they should make Ryu's fireball safer on block, because they made it -6 now from -7 Season 1, but I still think that's not enough. I think they should make it even safer than that, because Ryu's neutral tools got hurt, right? But I feel like if his neutral tools got nerfed, then his fireball should be used as an extension of his limbs to compensate. Ryu players use his fireball as an actual footsie tool because his limbs are stubby, and they can use it as a poking tool, and it still has some risk to it. Even though it's a long-range poking tool, because if the opponent anticipates it and jumps, you're going to get blown up for it. So yeah, it does involve risk, and I think it's a great compromise to buff Ryu's fireball, speed and damage, and make it safer on block so he can use it as a poke. As for Ryu's normals, out of all the normals that they changed, I really feel like they should revert his standing light kick. That's definitely one of his biggest nerfs to his normals, his standing light kick. It was the key way for Ryu to punish things in the -4 range at range, because Ryu's normals don't go too far. So he used the standing light kick. It was just fast enough and hit just far enough. And he had a lot of strings as well that led into his standing light kick. So I really feel like should bring that range back to normal. One final thing, change I think they should do to make Ryu more fun, that is to make him able to dash cancel his damn charge fireball. I've been talking about this guy since beta. I really feel like he should be able to charge that thing and juke somebody and dash cancel it. Of course, not at the cost of free. That'd be silly, guys. Come on. Make it drain like 1/3 or half of his V gauge total every time he does a dash cancel. But at least make some kind of mind game from this, so we don't just have Ryu sweeping with his, charge fireball and going for the unblockable all the time, and then getting hit by a Kami, DP. So yeah, that's my changes I think they should do for Ryu. So that's pretty much my 2 cents, guys. There's other notable characters that need buffs too, I'm sure you guys want me to say, like Vega, Birdie, Chun-Li. Vega, he's got a very low amount of tournament play right now. All like the big top Vega players, like Riketsu, he switched to Kami. Nemo, he switched to Urien. We're losing Vegas, man. We need Vega to get buffed some way, somehow. But I'm not a Vega player. I'm not going to pretend to know what they should change with him. Birdie might be just an unpopular character because he's just ugly. I think a lot of people don't play Birdie because he's an ugly character. I really think that's what it is. But of course, he could probably use some buffs as well to see more Birdie play. And then finally, we have Chun-Li. I know they really nerfed her anti-airs and such. I think there are still a lot of strong players playing Chun-Li right now. She's still getting a lot of play, and she's still doing okay. But I think if the top tier characters in Street Fighter V get nerfed, then I think Chun-Li will be fine, honestly. But either that or give her some buffs. So did I miss any characters that you guys think that should require some, desperate buffs right now? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Who am I missing out on? Or did I, hit the nail on the head and I got the characters right? So don't forget to like the video, guys, and be sure to subscribe, especially if you're new to the channel. And we'll do some more videos on this topic because it's pretty fun. So yeah, till then, guys, take care.